What is up, folks? Welcome back. To another live stream repair. We got a lot in today, but not a lot of time, and frankly, not a whole lot of energy. But we do have a few things that we gotta take care of today. A couple of different things than what we're used to on the channel. First and foremost, we're going to knock out this HomePod and one other really quick. And then we've got, not KO. Let's get that fixed. Alright, so after Brian's HomePod here, this one will be really quick. We've got KO's HomePod, and then we've got a Bose Equalizer that's got some issues we need to investigate. And then we've also got a big old Sony Projector that has some panel alignment issues. And we're going to take a look at that stuff again today. Or not again. I did already look at the Sony Projector and messed around with the panel alignment settings, and I got it kind of close, but it's still fairly far off. So we're going to take it apart. I'm assuming it got dropped, and maybe we'll get lucky and we can realign stuff without having to do anything too intense. Anyways, let's let some folks know. Alright, perfect. So this first one is Brian's HomePod. We've actually fixed this one before for a totally unrelated no power issue on the amplifier. Unfortunately, we're a few months later and their logic board has gone kaput. You saw it was literally working when I started streaming, and it had decided to restart itself and I guess reset itself. This logic board is acting up through no fault of our own or our repairs, but it keeps breaking itself. So it's gonna need a new one here really quick. It's already got everything else. It's got new filters. It's got the no bad diode. It's got a new subwoofer gasket. So like I said, this one should be really quick and easy. We're just gonna drop in another good working logic board here. And then we're gonna move on to the next HomePod, which will be also kind of quick. We've already opened it up. Already fixed its primary issue. We're just gonna treat it to a little bit of, a little bit of hardware maintenance while we've got it in here, and while we're charging them all this money for fixes. And I have a good feeling that based on the behavior, you know, until I can get it to misbehave and throw another error, let's see. I might actually have written it down too. But in any case, I'll try to fix that logic board one day. For now, I'd rather throw in another good working logic board and get them on their way again. Oh, Stefan, I saw your post in Discord about the HomePod with a screen. Be sure you make something that sits above it. You don't want something blocking the, all the bass coming out of the top. Oh, bam. Welcome back. Stereo pairs being more likely for one to fail. I don't think that has much credence to it. I don't think it's got any truth to it because if you think about it, a stereo pair versus a single HomePod, it's really not thinking all that much harder to act as a stereo pair. So the issues that we typically see killing HomePods have nothing to do with whether they were stereo paired or not, and aren't exacerbated by whether or not it was stereo paired.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Alright, so of course that is a logic board that I had set up and been testing, so I do need to reset it again, put it through its paces another time or two before we ship this back out to them. But in any case, there we go. First one done and down. Let's get KO here. KO is an interesting one. If you go back to our last live stream, KO's threw us for a loop a little bit there. So essentially, when we plugged it in, no lights, no nothing, no response, unless we waited a minute. And then it started talking to us. It still never lit up. It was essentially as if the display was unplugged, but it was responding to touch input. It was really strange. So we got really lucky looking around the logic board and finding a rather toasty looking resistor near where the display plugs into the logic board. And after replacing that, it seemed like nothing changed, it still wasn't working. So we moved on to a few other HomePod repairs, and we came back to it at the end of that live stream. And to our surprise, we replaced the resistor again, and it turned right on. I've been testing it on and off here and there. It hasn't been giving us any other issues. So we're going to get this torn apart the rest of the way and do a little bit of hardware maintenance to prevent anything else going wrong with it that we can, reasonably prevent. We can't prevent anything. We can't prevent everything, but there are a number of very common issues. The most common that we get them in for, we can prevent most of those issues. So let's get this board dressed up real quick. Nice and pretty. Very good. And let's tear this apart the rest of the way. Oh, hold on. I've got a bunch of stuff in the way of the YouTube chat, so I can't see what people are saying here. There we go. No, I don't see any diffuser or anything that flew off. I don't know what you're talking about. There's tape. There's yeah. Nothing else. Nope, it's there. They're both there. Yeah. I wish not to entertain any further your tomfoolery. How's the subwoofer smell? Just fine, just fine. Yeah, I can see that, Bam. I can believe that. Stupid cat. Can't you see I'm trying to stream, kitty? I can't have you scratching on my walls. Alright, so what we're going to take care of here on the amplifier board are two things. These four filters love to go bad and cause death farts and all sorts of bass issues. And if we flip it around, we do have a 46K dated Schottky diode right here. These love to fail and cause no power. Nothing to do with any of KO's current issues with their HomePod. but sure enough to cause problems down the road, so let's get that all replaced, and that should make this HomePod nice and happy. Alright. let's get this back together. All of the 13 Pros, all of the 512 gigabyte Alpine Green 13 Pros just shuddered in fear. Like a goldfish getting adopted by Darla in the movie Finding Nemo. Get a good case for it at least. For maybe 2 hours. Alright. Don't expect any sympathy from anyone if you break it with no case or screen protector. Here's another piece of that maintenance we always do is replace that foam subwoofer gasket with a solid rubber one. Slightly better bass response, not that it'll throw anything off if you've got a stereo pair. But it'll last a little longer than that foam too. It'll last a lot longer than the foam. Kurt, welcome back. Oh, and I hope you all had an easy Easter weekend. I certainly did. I decided not to stream at all. And it was great. But now we have a bunch of stuff to do. Okay, man, caseless is fun and all, but let me tell you, like, I very rarely drop my phone. But the one, I really liked the debrand skin on my case, or on my phone, So I went probably like 2 or 3 days with no case, just the skin. And in those 2 days, I dropped it twice in the driveway. And I was like, nope, 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 nope. Case is going back on. The circle of shame on a Costco holiday parking lot. That's great. I'll admit to being one of those people every once in a while. Not necessarily on Easter, but there we go.
trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I totally forgot. But now I remember, this has a number of issues going on. So it had the no power issue, but it's also had this no base issue. So we're gonna this one's taking a couple rounds, but we're getting there. But we're gonna have to come back to this one again. No big deal. No big deal. Oh, let's keep things moving on for now because we don't have too much time. We've got this beautiful old school Bose Equalizer. Not sure exactly yet what it's going to need, but we are going to take a look here. So, what's going on with it? It has most likely bad filter caps. Pretty typical. Caps go bad over time. We'll go ahead and call it maintenance. Okay. And I don't want to get any desk crud on this very nice wood finish. Okay, all right. There it is. Let's take a look at what we've got going on in here. Wonder if this tape is original. That's interesting. So overall, at a glance, it looks okay. But someone is here to pick up their HomePods. Okay. Alright, it's a busy day. Let's get this out of here now. Anything else? No. Oh, that feels pretty free. I presume these will have to come out. Ooh, you got yourself a high five. Very nice. Okay, and then I mean, it kind of looks like they want you to let me look at this video that someone else did on it really quick. We're gonna cheat. This is who we're looking at. By Texas Sound. So they're saying, it looks like these two are the ones that like to go bad. We got one over here. And they're pretty much touching all of them. How do you take it apart? You get that undone. Oh, you really just, well, you really do kind of just yank it out of there. I don't like that. All right, well, we can do that. Actually, I don't think I need to do that. Let's just push this in. We must free the power cord. How did that dude get that out? That little power cable. Oh, he doesn't. He just fishes it around it. Jeez. Yeah, okay. Alright. We got that. We got a good look on what's going on here. I mean, we're not going to see a lot of cracked solder joints with the naked eye. But what I do see looks pretty good. Oh, yeah, we do have some cool. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that does just totally wiggle. This one's just wiggling. Wow. I'll show you guys up close. You see that? And if I wiggle it, that is dead cold. And then this one here, similar story. It's practically coming right out. The rest of them are okay for now. Frankly, everything else looks okay for now, and that is not too surprising. Which, yeah, those are going to be the amplifier outputs. So of course those are going to be jacked up. That's what probably gets plugged into quite often. Okay folks, here's the plan for this. We weren't going to take this one very far today, but I did need to get it apart so that I could get together a list of parts to order up, and then we can do another stream for this and get that all replaced. Now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We've got 21 capacitors on here that I see. We'll see if all of them need to be replaced or if just these electrolytics need to be replaced. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's like 10 electrodes on there. Not the biggest job, but we don't want to sink hours and hours and hours into this, only make so little. But we're going to see how much we want to replace and how much we want to order up. We can get that done in the next few days here. And I'm also really happy to have found a very clear smoking gun with those cold solder joints. Frankly, I kind of really wasn't expecting to catch that so easily. Okay, it is time for the last thing that we'll be looking at here today. This one's going to be a bit of a doozy. I don't know how we're going to make this work. But let's see. Okay, we're gonna drag out It's bigger than my desk. Oh boy. Oh geez. Oh, it's not that we have so little today, Stefan. It's that we have quite the opposite. We've got so much. We've got all this not HomePod stuff that we gotta take care of. We do have like 6 or 7 HomePods that showed up today that need to get worked on, but they can wait till tomorrow. So, what's going on with this projector here? If you missed it at the beginning of the stream, I rambled about it for a minute. But basically, this very nice and fancy Sony home theater projector has an issue where, well, it's got multiple LCDs, multiple panels for different colors, red, green, and blue. And they have to be aligned. Otherwise, I don't know if you've ever watched an old school 3D movie where you've got like the red and blue and you have to wear the glasses. But if you've ever tried to watch one of those movies without the glasses on, I mean, heck, even with the glasses on, it looks kind of weird. But that's basically the problem with this projector, is the panels aren't lined up. So the three color panels are shifted, and there is a built-in menu setting to adjust that. However, it does not seem to have enough of an effect on the blue. The red gets pretty close too. I can't get it spot on. My guess is I asked them. They said they got this used. I'm willing to bet this was dropped or mishandled at some point, and that's probably why the last person got rid of it. But in any case, that's probably what's causing this projector's issues. We're going to take it apart, see if it's going to be a simple, easy thing to fix. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that it's not going to be something like where we have to rip the panels apart and re-glue them back into alignment. That's not going to happen. Hopefully, we can find something easy in here to fix. I was going to say that feels kind of slow. I guess it's dead. There won't be one if you ask about it again. Very much so. Okay, so that I believe that is every load-bearing screw. Every screw that has an arrow pointing towards it. Ta-da! Got a panel under here to disconnect, and the top is free. Stefan, you were saying we were missing a few screws? I think not. One thing that I've learned taking things apart in my time is if there are a bunch of arrows pointing to a number of the screws on a device and a bunch of other screws with no arrows on them, chances are the ones with the arrows pointing on them are the ones you need to take out to gain access to the insides. We don't want to just willy-nilly take every single screw we can visibly see out. Look at how complex the insides of this thing are. If some of those screws were holding some of these components in place, then it would be a nightmare to try to line it all up and get it back together again. So, if, that's not always going to be the case, but if if it's there and anyways, let's see. Wow, this is one heck of a projector. let's try to get this bulb out next. I think that's the next move. Of course, we didn't have to take everything apart to get the bulb out, but taking the bulb out, I feel like, is going to give us a good place to look for what's misaligned. It says loosen the screw on the lamp cover only, but I see oh, I see what they mean. Are those captive screws? That's really nice. That's really nice of them. Thank you, Sony. Okay, so we've got our bulberizer here. Of course, there's not going to be anything wrong with that. I'm kind of more so looking for any hints for any drop damage. And this looks to be where it all goes. Back into here, up there. What I might want to do next, although I doubt we're going to get any kind of access to it. I wanted to see. There they are. There's one of them glued in. Where do we want to start? That one's a little difficult to reach. Let's see. I think maybe the next best move is going to be to power this up and pull up the adjustment menu and see if we can't see anything moving while we make our adjustments. What's wrong with the projector? I feel like I've already said it like twice or 3 times, but that's okay. It's not lining up. So there's a panel for red, a panel for green, and a panel for blue, and they're not lined up. So it's got this weird color shift effect, kind of like watching an old 3D movie without the glasses. Alright, let's see here. Okay, I've got the panel to turn it on. It should be this one. There we go. It went from red to white. It's turning on, of course. It probably doesn't want to turn on with everything off. Fine. Be that way. Oh yeah, no, sure enough. There's a switch right there. Alright. Booting up. I see light. Beautiful, beautiful light. Okay, now the challenge is going to be we can't see what we're doing. But I do remember mostly how to get there. Oh, I see it. Okay. Menu. We go down to picture adjust. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth setting down. One, two, three, four, fifth setting down. Image flip, lens control, anamorphic, trigger select, IR, blanking, panel alignment. Panel alignment, go. And then it should be adjust, reset, adjust. There it is. All right. So I'm looking for any kind of movement. Reset, adjust, color mode, color. I don't see. I don't see anything moving when I'm moving the panel adjustment setting. It's gonna be deep in there. If you're curious which projector this is, it is a VPL-VW 300ES. It's a 4K projector. Okay, folks. This might be a no fix. I wasn't frankly expecting any miracles here, but I was having a little bit of hope that we could find something pretty obvious once we got it apart. However, there's just not a lot that you can access in here. Alright, I got it flipped around so I can at least see it pointing at my wall. Let's see. Turn off the lights in Nick's room. There you go, you can kind of see what's going on. So, there should only be see one set of lines here, but instead we've got a yellow line and a blue line. They're all separated. See, but you can move that blue as far up as you want, and it don't do nothing. So darn. So you see, I can make the red come out. I can align the red, no problem. Here we can go ahead and fix that red. You see that? I can make the red come back. Now we got 2 lines of red. I can readjust that. Line it back up. But unfortunately, the blue just does not want to play ball. So what's strange is the blue isn't adjusting either horizontally or vertically. The blue panel doesn't move at all, no matter how much you adjust it. But the red one does. The red panel adjusts. So the problem is they only let you shift 2 out of the 3 colors, because one of them has to stay still for reference. So you can only shift the blue and the red. The green stays. And I've tried resetting the alignment, of course, but all for naught. Yeah. Is it the actual screen that moves, or is it just digital? I'm not sure on that myself. I believe something actually moves. Alright, folks. That is about all the time that we've got for here and now. This is probably going to be a no fix. But I figured, hey, what the heck if we can't at least crack it open, and they were local, so they were able to drop this off. So it's not like we risked much anything by shipping anything back and forth. If this was a situation where they were going to end up shipping it, I wouldn't have taken it at all. Just to take it apart and say, nothing we can do. And I still kind of feel bad for making them drive out here and dropping it off just for us to say there's nothing that it looks like we can do, but it does look like there's probably not much anything that we can do. So I don't know if I want to start taking all of that apart. We'll think about it. But we might be their only option. It might be like a case where, like, yeah, take it apart. If we can't get it working, it's whatever. But it is a really nice projector, and it would be absolutely awful for this thing to go in the trash over a little bit of an alignment issue. So we'll see what we come up with for this. I'm gonna search online and see if anybody else has come across anything on any similar models. Give us any further direction or things to look for, or maybe something to take apart in here that's a little easier than it looks. But that is it for here now. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off. Hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you in the next one.